Owned manufacturer of armored vehicles and heavy ground munitions, has debuted its second-generation military exoskeleton, a body brace designed to help infantry members carry some 100 pounds of weapons, supplies, and ammunition. Compared to a previous Norinco exoskeleton, which came out in 2015, this second generation has a better battery, more robust hydraulic and pneumatic actuators, and a streamlined harness. The new version is also lighter, which will likely reduce strain felt by the exoskeleton's wearer, making it a better choice for troops in mountainous terrain. These refinements in weight, ergonomics, and power supply could also boost the second-generation exoskeleton's co-efficiency ratio. Basically, the higher the ratio, the less physical effort is needed to wear it. A ratio of 5:1 means that the wearer's body only needs to exert the effort it takes to carry 10 pounds in order to carry 50 pounds. The company's also claiming that the reduced weight increases battery performance, which would make sense. Norinco's first-generation exoskeleton had a top speed of 2.8 miles per hour, for 12 miles. They say this new version improves on that, but doesn't say by how much. Norinco isn't the only Chinese exoskeleton builder. Last month, the China Shipbuilding Industry Corporation's 707th Institute showed off its own powered exoskeleton to senior Chinese military officers. Chic is marketing theirs as ideal for the shipyard, where people are expected to carry huge loads. In Adaton, Chinese military engineers at EE have developed the L-70 exoskeleton, which we saw first in 2014 and again in 2016. Before that, the Nanjing Military Region's General Hospital built an exoskeleton that helped its wearer lift up to 80 pounds. China's push to develop powered exoskeletons has implications for almost every area of combat operations. If the plans prove successful, Chinese infantry and special operators could not only carry heavier equipment for longer distances, but also attach body armor to individuals. More prosaically, exoskeletons can be used to assist soldiers in a bunch of support tasks, including loading supplies, getting missiles onto airplanes, and repairing a leading rival. And a close look at the video reveals a capable weapon with several strengths and features that seriously threaten the US Navy's entire operating concept. Analysts who spoke with the South China Morning Post about the video concluded that the video sought to strike fear into the US by showing a fully functional, confident Chinese rocket brigade loading and firing the missile that the country said could sink US Navy ships as far away as Guam. China has increasing its threats against the US Navy for sailing in international waters near its territory, with the Rear Admiral even calling for China to sink US aircraft carriers. Many in the US dismissed the Chinese naval academics' talk as bluster, but China went through with deploying the missiles and showed them off in the video. This is the first time, to my knowledge, the DF-26 has really been materially visible in any video, Scott Lofoy, an open-source missile analyst at armscontrolwonk.com tweeted in response to the video. This sort of imagery wasn't released for literally decades with the DF-21. He continued, referencing China's earlier, shorter-range carrier killer missile type. The DF-26 has a known range of 1,860 to 3,500 miles, putting much of China's near periphery in range, along with much of the US military's Pacific basing and infrastructure. With at least a 2,500-pound throw weight, China can use the missile to carry conventional, nuclear, or anti-ship warheads. First off, the missile is road mobile, meaning that if the US sought to kill the missiles before they're fired, they'd likely be able to run and hide. Second, the missile is solid-fueled. This means the missile has fuel already inside it. When North Korea launched its intercontinental ballistic missile prototypes in 2017, it used liquid fuels. Liquid fuel missiles must take fuel before the launch, which for road mobile missiles, requires a large team of fueling and support trucks. The long convoy makes the mobile missiles easier to track and would give the US about 30 minutes to hunt the missile down. Third, the missile is cold-launched, according to Lofoy. This makes a minor difference, but essentially allows the missile to maximize its range by relying on compressed gas to eject it from the tube to get it going, rather than a powerful blast of fuel. Submarines, for example, shoot cold-launched missiles near the surface before letting their engines rip. Finally, according to Lofoy's close analysis of the launch, the DF-26 may carry field reloads, or essentially get close to rapid fire, which could allow China's batteries to overwhelm a carrier's robust defensive systems. If the DF-26 units carry with them additional rounds and operate as portrayed in the video, China may truly
tons, according to the state-run China Daily News website. This is a particularly major advance. The extra hardy domestically built destroyer not only helps Beijing double down on its disputed claims in the East and South China Seas but also gives it new deterrent weight against its most powerful Asian rivals such as Japan and India. The destroyer launched Wednesday in Shanghai with air defense, anti-missile, anti-ship and anti-submarine weapons that can outdo India's Project 15B Visakh-8 destroyers, according to Indian media reports. India's ship can displace 8,200 tons of military hardware when fully armed and can carry 50 missiles. China's destroyer, a type of ship that can start battles as well as block shots fired first, may also outrank Japan's destroyers, two maritime experts told me on Thursday. They are making serious advances, says Ewan Graham, International Security Director with the Lowy Institute for International Policy in Sydney. If youths of technologies and capabilities the aircraft will contain. While the Air Force has not yet identified a platform for the new aircraft. The Navy's new aircraft will, at least in part, replace the existing inventory of FA-18 Super Hornets which will start to retire by 2035, Navy officials said. The Navy vision for a future carrier air wing in 2040 and beyond is comprised of the carrier-launched variant of the Joint Strike Fighter, the F-35C, and legacy aircraft such as the EA-18G Growler electronic jamming aircraft. Also, around this time is when Navy planners envision its sixth-generation aircraft to be ready, an aircraft which will likely be engineered for both manned and unmanned missions. Technologies are rapidly advancing in coatings, electromagnetic spectrum issues, maneuvering, superiority in sensing the battle space, communications and data links, Navy leaders have said. Navy officials also add that the Navy is likely to develop new carrier-launched unmanned air vehicles in coming years as well. Analysts have speculated that as sixth-generation developers seek to engineer a sixth-generation aircraft, they will likely explore a range of next-generation technologies such as maximum sensor connectivity, supercruisability and an aircraft with electronically configured smart skins. Maximum connectivity would mean massively increased communications and sensor technology such as having an ability to achieve real-time connectivity with satellites, other aircraft and anything that could provide relevant battlefield information. The new aircraft might also seek to develop the ability to fire hypersonic weapons, however such a development would hinge upon successful progress with yet-to-be proven technologies such as scramjets traveling at hypersonic speeds. Some tests of early renderings of this technology have been tested successfully and yet other attempts have failed. Supercruise technology would enable the new fighter jet to cruise at supersonic speeds without needing afterburner, analysts have explained. Smart aircraft skins would involve dispersing certain technologies or sensors across the fuselage and further integrating them into the craft itself, using next-generation computer algorithms to organize and display information for the pilot. Smart skins with distributed electronics means that instead of having systems mounted on the aircraft, you would have apertures integrated on the skin of the aircraft, analysts have said. This could reduce drag, increase speed and maneuverability.